What's up, man? Welcome to Boastal. This Big P.
We back, man. It's Nell.
It's your boy Tavo.
What's going on, fellas? Y'all ready to get into this topic today? Today
Yeah.
we talking about the black family structure.
Oh yeah, man. Let's do it.
So before we get started on that, what you guys think about that? What that mean to y'all? Like as far as for y'all upbringing, like how you guys feel about the black family structure?
I think it just depends on the household, what you grow up in, and how they raise you. I think to be,
Mhm.
and like I would say, like if you have two parents, you're gonna get best of both worlds, and they're gonna teach you us one way, and the other one teach you another way, and you trying to break it together and try to make it work for you. So
Right.
that's my idea on that.
What about you, PJ?
Um, I feel like agreeing with what he said. When you have a two-parent household, it's obviously better. It's more beneficial to the kid or the kids. Um, I feel like one-parent households are way harder, whether that being single dad or a single mom. Either way, it's not beneficial really, and I feel like that kid has to go and seek other resources and other information from other influences or guardians. So that's
Hmm.
not really as effective as having two parent households. So
Okay.
and of course in the black culture it is we have a high rate of like single parents, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that, I feel like that needs to be worked on and that needs to be changed.
Mm.
So
What do you think is some things that can change that in a sense?
um I say I don't be like too blunt, but like picking better partners, you know, and like really understanding your partner before you decide to have kids, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously sometimes it happens, but it's like when that does happen, when you have kids, I feel like they need to do what's best for the kid and obviously stay together and work
Uh-huh.
out their problems rather than running away from them, you know?
Okay.
Because I feel like that happens a lot in the black community. And we just run away from like our problems and don't really talk enough and really get down to the nitty gritty of what's going on in a relationship in order to be together and raise that those kids or that kid, you know.
You think they come from a sense of trauma because of what they saw?
Yeah, most
Or
likely. A lot of times it's from what they saw in previous relationships or in their household, you know, and like a lot of past trauma, whether that being family trauma, just life trauma, like going through things with partners and stuff like that. A lot of times I feel like when you have too many partners, you don't really know like what's right and what's wrong, you know?
mm, that's
So,
a good point. What? So I'm gonna put your business out there. But I'm spinning it to you. How do you feel about relationships being that you grew up without that you grew up in that one parent home? How do you feel about that when it comes to that? How do you feel? Do you take relationships more serious, or how do you feel about that?
I tend to take relationships serious more than I think the partners I pre-relationships with. I feel like they come not ready and I come too ready,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's why they tell me I'm moving too fast
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to end up like my parents because they had me but they really didn't really want to be together. It just happened. My mom actually told me that she was like it's just like a they just got together and it just happened. It wasn't planned. It wasn't
damn.
like it wasn't planned at all. So it was like that changed my whole perspective on relationships in general. Like I want something different for myself than what.
Now, do you feel you
Real.
move too fast just because you need that sense of security or loneliness? You don't want to be lonely, or like what? Or do you really like the person? Because that's
I think it's just I think for me it depends on the situation. Like
mm-hmm.
sometimes I go in for just being lonely and want security,
Mm,
and sometimes I go in I actually like that person. I just want to be with them. I want to build something,
Mm,
but it want to getting I think misconstrued as moving too fast, and I guess move fast for them, not for me. It just I guess that's what it is.
okay.
can you go into depth as like what do you explain? I mean, what do you feel is like too ready? Like, what do you mean by too ready to? Are you saying like you're being like pushy as towards like okay, let's start this
Mm,
relationship or like
yeah.
let's be serious, or are you just like just explain that like.
I feel like when we get to talking about future things and wanting kids and
Mm-hmm.
wanting this, we want this in life, you want this in life. I feel like when I'm talking about that to them, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they thinking I wanted it right now, like right
When
then
do
and
you
there.
when do you talk about that? Do you talk about that like is that like a first date conversation or is that like
No, I think like that's
more
like a first week.
yeah first week?
Yeah, like I want them to know what my intentions is when I'm first coming into
Right,
something like that. I don't want them to just think, oh, I'm just there just for the, you
right.
know, just have sex and
Uh huh.
that's what it is.
I feel you. I feel like me personally, I wouldn't like have that as like a first week conversation just because like our generation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I feel like back in the day we were able to talk about those things, but I feel like now people aren't serious until they really build a bond with that person. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I feel like you have to like make that connection. You know what I'm saying? And just show that person that you're serious by like your actions rather than just telling them like, oh, okay, I may want a future with you or I may want to have kids with you. That's kind of crazy, like saying that,
yeah,
right? You know, like in the
yeah.
first week. That's like that's my personal opinion.
I mean, sometimes I didn't bring that conversation up. It's like they brought it up to me, and then
Hmm.
when I start talking about it, it's like they get cold. They're not even getting cold feet.
Yeah,
And I was
it's scary though. Like think
like
about it.
I know it
It's-
is, but it's like why be scared about something that we both mutually agreed on and we talked about.
that's true.
So it's like,
So we can go on and on with this all day, but
My bad.
let's let's jump into another topic. What do you guys think about the black fatherless rate?
Ooh,
And
it's high.
I
too
mean,
high.
It's way too
it's
high.
I mean,
We number
it's
one.
50.
50%.
It's 50.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's pretty much that's to be facts. That's 20% higher than Caucasians and
Hmm.
29% higher than Hispanics. So like what do you guys think about that? Like how does that hit y'all as being young adults and coming into your own and possibly gonna be starting your own family soon? Like does that make y'all like want to take this more serious
Yeah,
or what?
definitely. You know what I think it's a maturity thing to be honest. I feel like a lot of blacks don't really like black men in our generation don't really take family like serious. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And we don't really take a lot of guys don't take women serious. You know, like they're not really emotionally connected to these women, so they don't really care. It's like, okay, I had a baby with this girl, but I don't really want to be with her, so I'm not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? They're not really thinking about that kid and what it's gonna do to that kid. But I feel like other races they think about these things and they're more mature and emotionally aware when it comes to these things, and they want to be there. And on top of that, a lot of times they don't go and start a family with somebody that they don't want to be with. You know, I feel like they think ahead. They think of these things before it happens. You know what I mean?
But why do you think that's a problem for us? Like let's try to get to the root
Mm,
of this. Like what you guys are young, so let's spin it this way. When you guys are around y'all circle, y'all out with the homies, like what? Because I'm pretty sure y'all talk about relationships. Like all men, like
yeah,
we
definitely.
talk about relationships when we alone,
Nah, facts.
Right.
with the homies.
Facts.
What are some of the problems when it come to you guys being with one female? Like first, two things. Answer that question yourself first, and then answer that as far as for your thoughts on on another guy.
Okay, I think because you see certain men see different things in different women that they like.
Uh,
So that's I feel like that's a reason why they want different women. Cause probably that one woman probably don't got all the traits that he want in a woman, so he sees other traits in
well,
them.
if they don't have that, then then why even go there? If that's like me buying a car and the car don't have everything I need. I'm gonna buy the car. I like the way it look, but the AC don't work, so I'm still gonna buy it because I like the way it look. What sense that make?
Hey, us men just go off looks. And I think
Got a
that's bad
point
because
though.
you just going off looks and you not going off of like I would say the traits that the woman has. Like
But don't you think that's a problem within yourself? Like you just so you're gonna date somebody just for their looks, start a family with them, or start a half a family because that's a half a family.
Real shit.
Because you're not gonna be there. Like everything really fall on a woman. So
Honestly,
and
looks
now
is
you got a
not
broken
enough.
kid walking around here just because you like the way the mama look.
that's
Mama ain't got no brain, but you like the way the mama look.
Damn.
that's men simple like that.
Hmm?
Some men, us as a men, some of us are just simple. That's just what we just go off of. Just that first impression, that first look. We don't just go off of how they mind work, how they think, and how they go about
So
things.
so that's acceptable.
Hell
To
We
certain
men
men,
we
yes.
men we simple.
no.
Some of us
That's
is.
Not at all.
I mean,
Some of us don't think for real.
but
That's
that need to change because like you're not you're not thinking and it's causing the problem here in the world, you know? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel like relationships need to be taken more serious in our world
Yeah.
in a sense because we're the problem, you know. I'm not gonna sit here and blame women for this. Like I'm gonna put this on us because the reason why I say that is because we know what our intentions are. Like I'm a man, so I know for a fact if I want to be with somebody, probably like after the second or third date. And that's just based off of conversation alone because I'm the type of person like I look for a woman that's going to help push me. So you have to have like I have to be able to have conversation with you,
Mm.
you know? I don't care about the looks. We
facts.
going to get old. Like
Real
them
deal.
looks going to vanish, you
You
know?
He
feel me?
got a point.
What are you going to do for me here and here?
Damn.
Well, I think us men got to mature first before we can go out there and actually find women that's gonna do that for us. They're gonna be able to push us and motivate us to do.
I mean, you mature when you got to go to work, right? Your boss come to you and he tell you, "Hey, you don't be on time tomorrow. Hey, you gonna find the unemployment line." You mature real quick, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You can mature about your money. You can mature about your female.
Damn.
See, as far as for black men, we got to start like looking at women differently. Period. Especially black women. I mean, your woman is supposed to be queen, in a sense. You know,
Mm.
a queen stands on the side of her man, not behind, not in front, not around, on the side. You know,
But what if not a lot of women want to do that nowadays?
huh?
What if not a lot of women want to do that nowadays though? Cause it's a lot of women out here that want to be like treated like queens, but they don't want to be
What you
doing the
mean by that?
thing that queens
Oh, we
do.
about to get deep now. What you mean by that?
Like, let's be real. You said queens like they stand beside their men, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women want to be in front, or they just want to be led. Not a lot of women want to stand beside a man and actually do what needs to be done to stand beside a man.
I gotta beg the difference. I think they go off of what you show them.
Okay.
So if you come in that thing weak and then you try to like change the game up later on, it's gonna be some work that you gotta put in some work to get that trust there.
Okay. So what if you come in strong and
Are you really
she's
coming in
not?
strong or you think you're coming in strong?
I mean,
But
I
wait,
feel like
they got a lot of bad influences that influence them to do stuff.
exactly.
So it's like
You
I
gotta
don't
look
feel
at
like it's
the
just us coming in
influence.
strong. I feel like
It
if
don't
we
even
can
help
come in
you.
strong, But if they got bad influence, like they friends want them, and they friends getting them to do different things, talking in their ear.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So how are we supposed
You
to have them
gotta.
stand by our
Well,
side and
y'all
be
got to
clean?
show them different things too. I
But
mean,
what if we try and they just don't listen? It's because like we got a lot of it's a lot of men that be telling them like,
then what are you
oh,
showing them?
your friend not for you, and they not. We be showing them that like it's clear as day, and they still choose to listen to their friends over their man. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And a lot of times we got more. We like how I say this. We have their best interests at heart a lot of times, and they friends don't. They just want to have fun with them, or they friends probably don't even like they man
Again,
because
it goes back to what are you showing them, or because you can be telling them this, but you showing them something else. You can't you can't tell me one thing and then you showing me something else. You know. And what I mean by that is, again, leading by example. You want somebody to be a good person and a genuine person, man. Energy is real. You know,
hmm
like if you bringing that positive energy and you showing them these positive things, eventually they're gonna follow. Now it might not happen overnight, but it's gonna eventually happen.
so you saying
But
if
you can't be there like double dipping. You can't want
hmm
them to do good stuff and you out here doing the opposite.
So, so if they can see the bad, they can see the bad things, and they telling you about it, but they still going back and doing the same thing.
they be stuck in their ways.
And you just gotta pray for them.
Hey,
Like say for example, bro. Say for example, if you trying to take let's say take one, you trying to build with this girl, right?
Hmm.
Y'all done been together for a while. You let her know your intentions, you know what I'm saying? You doing what you got to do as a man. You going to work. You handling your business. You trying to let's say y'all going to church because y'all trying to keep God at the center of y'all relationship, right? You doing the things that need to be done to strengthen a relationship, right? But instead of doing that and follow you, she tell you one thing like, oh yeah, I want to start a family. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this. I want to have a strong relationship. But she out here trying to go to the club with her friends. You know what I mean? She drinking. You know what I'm saying? Say for instance, she smoking. She talking to dudes at the club or whatever, and then coming back to you, right? Aren't you building that foundation, but she's not following you? She's not standing beside you.
yeah, she's not
Like
standing beside me. She's doing what she want to do, but
she's
trying to,
telling you one thing but doing another, right?
yeah.
Like that's the example that we pretty much have like in this day and time. To be honest, a lot of women will tell you like, "Oh yeah, I want to do this with you," but they stuck in their ways because they still following behind their friends or they seeing what they see on social media. Because a lot of females live off TikTok these days.
Well,
I ain't gonna
you
lie.
just proved my point. Just what you said. People are
Okay,
gonna do what they see. They see
but
social media.
right.
Make them see you.
I mean, that's what we be trying to do as men, but it's like a lot of women just don't see they man these days. Like nowadays, they
They see
But
money.
why? Why do they not see you? That's the question.
because they got
Answer
their
that question.
eyes and their mind set on something else, which is
Okay.
not real. Social media is not real, but women
Again,
think it's real for some reason. They see
show
the
them
cars, they
something
see the
else.
money, they see the dudes with $1 million and this and that and other,
They see the
and
vacations.
they won't see a dude that's trying to treat them right the whole time because they want something that's not real. They want a fantasy.
That's not all women though. Y'all talking about a small percentage.
But they all in a crowd together. The
I'm
real
just
women
talking
and the
about
fake women.
right
You can't
now.
tell them apart because they all doing the same thing.
Right now I'm speaking to our age, like our age gap, like
Yeah,
what we got to deal with.
yeah.
In a
Well,
situation,
I know some girls from your age bracket. I mean, I work with some young girls. All of them not like that. Like, and now is that just what y'all looking at?
it's a small percentage that's not like that.
I just said that. I
It is a very small percentage, and they are hard to find. I'm just
Hey,
saying. Like my homeboys tell me all the time,
good
like
thing come to those who wait.
that's true. That's true. You sit back and wait. Maybe one day she'll come. But it's
But
like that's just what I feel, and that's what I see like all
mhm.
the time. Like
Shit, that's
I
what I
see
go through.
females that live on social media all day. Oh, I want my man to do this. I wish my man to do that, but they don't focus on what their man actually doing. which is a lot of positive stuff. They
Okay.
will block out every positive thing that their man is doing just for something they seen on social media. You could go buy her flowers from Walmart, right? And they nice. You just took the tag off and everything, right? But
He said took the
she see
tag
the
off.
glitter, she see the glitter flowers on social media. She see this dude brought this girl a big bouquet of flowers that got glitter on them and this and that and other that he could have made at home. He probably ain't even bought them of.
Mm,
But she want that instead of what you bought her.
mm.
Boom.
Sound like somebody been hurt. Okay.
Nah, I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. I see it all the time, bro. I see it all the time.
Ah,
You take a girl to a restaurant that she liked whole time. She told you she liked this meal, right?
mhm.
You get there, she don't even like it no more. She done seen Benny Hanna on her story. She want to go there.
That sound personal, man.
I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just saying.
You okay?
I'm good. I'm letting y'all know what we gotta deal with in today's time. Do we not deal with this?
Yeah, do a lot of that. They want money. They want people. They want men with money. They don't.
Real
They don't want the
shit.
9 to 5 man. They want that man with the fast money that taking on trips.
They don't want real relationships, and whole
They
time them
don't.
dudes don't even love you because they don't even need you.
They don't need you.
Mm.
I
Boom,
had to tell that 30-year-old at work. She want a man with money to help her take care of the kids.
boom.
She don't want the 9 to 5. She don't want the man to making the same amount as her. She want a man working way a lot more. That probably don't want her. He's just using you just to have sex, and that's it.
A
I
lot
feel
of
like
times,
you're not in the same money bracket with
a
people.
lot of times,
Okay,
women,
man. That's
bro. No,
all
this is a
personal to
topic.
y'all,
This is
man.
a topic I've been waiting to talk about. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk about it. So
Okay.
look, a lot of times women call real relationships these days settling. They don't call it a real relationship. They call it settling. I'm just saying. I'm keeping it a bean.
And some of them saying they here for a good time, not a long time.
Real shit.
So
First of all, where are y'all finding these women? What y'all going?
This is bro. This is all over.
Cause
This is
cause
out
like
here in
it
the real
cause it
world.
everyday
sound
stuff.
like no 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 no
I'm
no
just saying,
I think
bro.
that's probably
no.
why these broken homes is like this because it start from that point.
That's exactly why the broken homes is
But
like this.
okay, okay. So if you notice, if you know all these things,
hmm
let's navigate this back. Y'all know all these things going into this. Why have a kid then? Y'all think that's going to hold them there or something? I mean, like, how you answer that?
It's
Because if
definitely
you
not
know
gonna
that
hold them there.
somebody, if you know somebody is like that, right? Why have a kid there? Why even create that?
I mean, some men just don't pull out fast.
If you can't,
Hey, you won't be real. Hey, they just not pulling out fast enough. That's how it
No,
happens.
oh my goodness,
dog.
Oops. That's what it is. Oops.
it's not a oops if you protect it anyway. So
I low key feel
we're not
like
going to even get on that.
I low
Like
key.
I'm not even finna go there with you, man.
You want to be
Like
honest? You want to be
that's a
honest?
bad answer.
Check this
I
out.
mean,
I'm gonna give you a
It's a real
solid.
answer.
my daddy, oops, now I'm here.
I'm gonna keep it a man. Let's go.
Hey,
Let me give you a solid. I'm gonna give you a solid answer. That was funny though. But look, honestly, I feel like a lot of men don't really see the real until after that happens, because that's when stuff get real. Like say for instance,
How you don't see the real
you
if
could.
this woman done told if this woman so if this woman is always on social media,
hmm
I'm going to yard time.
You got a
I'm gonna try to go
blinder
to yard
on.
time. Always on social media. And let's keep it a buck. Every time y'all hang out, you spending money.
That's true. I feel like
How
a
you
lot
don't
of
see
kids
those
are
signs?
also. I feel like a lot of kids that like weren't meant to like happen type shit. I don't want to say it like that, but like a lot of when that happens, I feel like people have kids in like that cupcake phase before stuff get real. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
But take
that's
it
when it
back.
happens.
In the cupcake stage,
oops.
Oops,
in the cupcake stage, what you call it, which is something new for me, cupcake.
that's what it is. The
Um, if every time I'm linking with you,
hmm
I gotta take you to see excitement. I'm spending mad bread just to keep you happy. My thing is, if you create that environment, now you got to keep that environment up. So you can't blame that woman for something that you're doing. If you can't afford that, then don't do that.
that's true. But
If
let's
I
be
can't
real.
afford Vic and Anthony, then I'm about to take your butt to McDonald's, and either you like it, you like it or you don't. If you don't
That's
like it,
real.
then move on.
That's real.
because you out my league in a sense for right now.
That's true.
I'll circle back to you later if I want to.
Facts.
Why have a kid there?
But I don't get that. How we out their league and they broke just like we?
That's what I'm saying. A lot of females don't
They
don't
don't be
be
having that
having
money.
money.
Yeah. So like we both
We
in the
be the
same
ones with
bracket of
money.
money.
Bro, let's be real. We be the
Again,
ones with money because we taking them out. We paying for their food. 9 out of 10 times, we
but you're
driving them
missing the
there.
point.
And they
Sometimes
don't
they don't
want.
even be having a car.
And
You're
they don't.
missing. Y'all
It's
missing
just
the
like,
point.
bro,
Y'all missing the point. Y'all creating a facade.
bro,
That's what they want when they
that's
come in.
literally what they
It
be
don't
doing
matter
these
what they
days.
want. If you can't keep that up, why do it?
Because we want them.
Be real.
We see how they look. We see how they move.
Okay. So again, you're
It
the
is
problem.
our fault. It is our fault, but it's just as much their fault too. I can't just say it's all our fault. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
How? If
Cause it's
y'all
like
doing that from the beginning,
I feel like nowadays they be
why
like,
you want to do that and then want to take it away? It's just like them. It's just like them giving you sex.
but
They
it's
start
not.
out giving you sex and then later on down the line
That's a problem too.
they take it away afterwards.
That's a problem too, cause sex create problems.
Exactly.
Sex in relationships creates
Now you
problems.
getting to where I
I feel
want
like
you to
we.
I'm
get.
just keeping it a band. If honestly, I feel like we could have more real relationships if people stop having sex in the beginning.
Yeah, because
If they
it
wait,
create problems because you're more focused on
you don't get to know
the
a person
feeling
for real.
versus who that person really is.
Exactly, and that's you just said my point. I ain't gonna lie, you just said my point
5 minutes
because
of fame.
check this out. Cause check this out. When you having sex with a female and you like it, you're blinded by who she really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't see who she really is because
Preach,
you're
preach.
so focused on her body. You know what I'm saying?
We going
And
transaction for
that's real.
transaction.
And now, since you want more of that, you gonna do more of what excites her. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna focus on the real. You're not gonna be like, oh, instead of going to Cheesecake Factory or whatever or wherever y'all like to go, we gonna go have a picnic. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk and get to know each other. Or we're gonna go to the museum and this and that and another, and we gonna really conversate and this and that and another. And I'm gonna really get to know who you are in your mind and in your heart. I'm not focused on your body. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a lot of dudes that's telling females that. You know what I mean? And when females hear that, a lot of times they run the other way because they just want the excitement. They don't want the real. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where we go wrong at.
Okay. But anyway, let's jump on
My bad.
something
Go
else.
ahead. Let's go ahead.
Social support. Like, what do you guys think about that?
Social support.
Mm-hmm.
Elaborate.
Huh?
Elaborate for me.
So mental
Okay.
stuff like that. Like, what do you think about that? Like, we just jumped off that topic.
Like, are you saying like you said social support
Mm-hmm.
and you said mental? So are you saying like how
Like
we have support? Like,
friends, support networks,
okay.
community, things like that.
Mm,
Like, do you think those things like really help out with the mental aspect and different things like that in the black community, or like having that
it
community outside family?
it helps.
You think it's important
It's
to have that?
I definitely think it's important, but
Why?
it's important to have the correct social support. Like I don't mean social support, the proper social support isn't just talking to your friends. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's talking to the people that challenge your mental and tell you what you really need to hear versus what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like a lot of times we'll be on a game or something and we conversate and friends gonna tell each other like so you got certain friends that just tell you what you want to hear, but you got those real friends that's
I'm
gonna
gonna
tell
tell you
you
like it
like
is,
yeah,
whether
exactly.
you like it or
I
not.
feel like that's the social support we need. The people that's telling us what we really need to hear, the harsh truth. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because that's gonna stop us from doing the BS. You know what I
Like
mean?
I'm doing y'all right now with these females.
Exactly.
I feel like it's a difference. Like when you saying you could be because some people be negative with what they say. They're not giving you actual
The
support.
delivery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you come into a conversation, you trying to tell them how to do something, but you're not giving them like real good constructive criticism, but
Mhm.
you're giving them bad and negative criticism. So they're not gonna take it the way you want them to take it because you're not giving the right delivery.
Okay.
So that's why I feel like when you say social support, you gotta have the right. Because like I'm gonna give an example. in my household, I don't got that good social support.
Mhm.
So when I come talk to y'all, it's like I got that good social support because y'all uplifting me, y'all giving me
Right.
good advice on how to do something, how to do that.
Exactly.
Well, in my household, it's like, oh, you can't do that. I know you're not gonna be able to do this.
Mhm.
So it's like it's always important to have that good social support.
I feel that. I feel that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how and where do you find that?
Now that's the tricky part.
Is that it? So let me tell you more. Do you find that in so for me, for instance, I found that at the church. I found that at the church. I found that around the football field,
Mhm.
different things like that. When I was younger, when I was you guys' age.
Mhm.
I mean, that's how that helped me out. I didn't go on a block looking for that. I
Mhm.
did, but I wasn't getting that energy I needed when I got like around 15, 16 years old. And I was trying to change myself to try to take things more serious in a sense,
Okay.
you know?
So.
So, and even now, I mean, like I find that at the church. Like I join a group, we group
Mhm.
of guys and, you know, that's that's my outlet. That's my positive outlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for you guys being younger, where would you tell the age group coming up under y'all to find that? I'm talking about the kids that's like really hurting. They got the one parent home. They don't have the positive, like they constantly get knocked down every day, but not lifted back up.
Mhm.
Where do you tell them to go and find that positivity to
Number one, do not go on social media. Of course, obviously. Second,
that's some
don't.
positive things on social media. Is
There's
is is
some,
what
but
you
there's a
follow.
lot of negative, and a lot of people follow a lot of negative stuff, and they follow
Hmm.
stuff that's not real. So I'm gonna say, social support can be really like it can be right there, and you wouldn't even know it to be honest. Like a lot of people are like in college, and there's some really good groups. There's good like what is it? What I'm saying like there's good communities to join. There's different avenues you can go, and those are people that are really support what you're trying to do,
Hmm.
also, rather than knock down what you're trying to do. Because a lot of times when you tell your friends or you tell these people that you just know, like these acquaintances, and you think that they're supporting you,
Hmm.
that's not the case. And like you said, in churches, also, there's a lot of good groups in church to join, and those are really positive people. You know what I mean? Those are positive people to get around. Adults as well. Like,
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of times we look to our peers for advice and support when we need to look to people that's been through these things and been where you're
Right,
trying to
right,
be.
right, right.
You know what I mean? Like they done went through it all. These people done lived years. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we don't see that.
Hmm.
We just see like, oh, this person just trying to hate. You know what I mean? But it's like this person has been exactly where you're standing. You know what I'm saying? In the same situation,
Hmm.
probably different people, probably different circumstances. You know what I mean? But it's same situations. You know what I mean? And a lot of times that can help because when I talk to adults, it's like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? I got a whole different outlook on what I was going through,
Yeah,
and now I'm able to get through that. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
I
So,
think
what about you?
older people in general, I feel like you could find good social support.
Hmm.
'Cause I work with a lot of older people that's older than me. They well past they like 40s to their 60s,
Hmm.
and I find good conversation and uplifting motivation from them because they've been through what I've been through,
Right.
even more.
Exactly.
So I go to work every day talking to them, getting knowledge off of them, and
Yeah.
Exactly.
different type of advice on how to go, different avenues how to do stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
I feel that's a good. Or you could do like hobbies. If you got hobbies, go find people that do the same hobbies as you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't look into that, man, and that helps. That
Do.
like a lot of that stuff, man, it helps with that mental trauma and different things like that we talked about.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to have a good support system. That's the way I feel. You know, you can't do everything alone. You know, a lot of us, and when I say us, I'm talking about African American. We feel like, especially the men, we feel like we don't need nobody. You know, I don't want nobody in my business. You know, you don't need to know this. You know, I could do this alone. I don't need nobody. You know,
That's right.
you need somebody. We all need somebody at some point. You know, there's some things you can do alone, but if you're not, if you don't have an a outlet, where are you releasing it? You know what I mean?
That's true. So,
All this stuff you holding in from, I don't know what, childhood all the way to however old you is now.
mhm,
Who are you talking to about these things? You know, when you got a problem and you just can't figure it out, and you don't messed around with that thing in your head for about a month, and you still not getting the answer.
mhm.
Where do you go to talk this thing out? We don't. We just deal with it. We move on. You
Uh,
know, we figure it out. That's how we said. I'm gonna figure it out.
I feel like um, first, I feel like when you have like problems, before you go talk to anybody, you need to pray on it. First, you have to pray on it,
Man, that's what I'm talking about.
and then that's when you go talk to people because it's like if you just go talk to people, you're not gonna really hear what you need to hear. A lot of times, that could be the enemy, like talking to you and getting you to do the wrong thing. You
Hmm.
feel me?
what if that person don't got that relationship with God? Like they don't got that. Like they didn't grow up on that, going into church and talking to God, praying.
Let me
Well, you need to find it.
let me talk to you on that one. So, like, honestly, bro, your relationship with God is always there because He's waiting for you to come to Him. You know what I mean? So, like, that's why a lot of times when people say, "Oh, I don't have this relationship with God," or "I don't have that relationship with God," God is your creator.
Oh, we getting deep.
You feel me? God is your creator. He's waiting for you to talk to Him at all times. His door is open 24/7. You feel me?
Yeah,
And all you gotta do is talk. It's no. I don't believe that there's a correct way to pray in a sense. I feel like you just need to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? And understand that you're talking to him and you're not talking to anybody else.
Mm.
It's like meditating in a way. You feel me? So like a lot of times people just do that loop and they be like, "Oh, I don't have a relationship with God, so I'm not gonna talk to him. Oh, I don't know how to pray, so I'm not gonna pray. Oh, I don't know what church to go to, so I'm not gonna go to church. I don't know what's right or wrong in the Bible, I'm not gonna read it." You know what I'm saying?
Gotta start somewhere.
Those are all the wrong answers. You have to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You start small. It's like you starting anything else. You start small and it grows. That's it. Literally.
Mm.
So if you have problems within yourself and and you have things you need to figure out, pray first and the answers will be revealed. You know?
Okay.
Back to you.
Cultural values. What you guys think about the cultural values in the black community? You know, like respect, like black kids, but just kids in general, but people in general. You know, having respect for the elders. You know, those family
Oh,
ties, spiritual connections, and stuff like that.
that's a huge one. I'm gonna let you speak first on that one. I'm gonna go after.
I mean, I feel like
We feel we just us here. We respect our elders enough.
we do, but not so many do. Like,
Then what you see now in the community with with pants sagging in front of the older community, the cussing and you know just the lack of. What do you think about that?
I
How
guess
can that get changed?
by having more awareness of who around you,
I was gonna say
whether
the
you're
same thing.
whether it's the older people
I think
or
they're aware.
young
I think they
kids.
just don't care.
It's
Because
that's
we
true
got
too. That's true too. But like honestly, there's some
And
people
why
that
ends? Y'all don't care, man.
your ONs.
oh, is crazy.
Hey,
But look,
them ONs got respect.
I'm gonna start saying that OENs, bro. That's crazy. But look,
I mean, not all of y'all.
Huh?
Not all of y'all.
You're right.
Because you see
You're
who we
right.
got
Cause
who we got
it's
it from. We see
there's
examples
some
from
OENs that just don't care,
I'm gonna
bro.
be I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The world's the same. We just didn't have social media to expose us. The
Mm,
stuff I see now is the same stuff I seen back in the day, man.
that
It
is
just
real.
depends on where you went, you know.
Yeah,
You
I
went in
agree.
different cities, different towns or whatever, you seen some craziness. You knew where to not go, you know. You go some places and you see normal stuff. The difference is we didn't have social media to show what was going on every day.
Hmm.
But we knew.
y'all video yourselves. Y'all got videos out now.
Man, nobody was trying to video nothing back in the day,
Oh,
man.
What you
quality
mean? What's
videos,
the? I don't know
man.
what this one thing called. Y'all, I forgot what it's called, but it's like it's this video. Yeah, like something y'all did back in the day. I forgot. It's
Man, who you think was fitting to walk around with a camcorder back in the day, man? Recording stuff.
she.
We ain't had no
Bro.
camera phone back in the day.
I ain't had them big little camera thing.
Who finna walk around with that?
That
Certain
was
people
not
do.
cool back then, bro.
I just can't think of this thing that y'all did back in the day. Y'all video each other. I
You
forgot.
don't even remember the
I
camera.
can't think of the
That's how
name.
old that was.
Exactly. Exactly. Didn't
Bro.
exist.
Y'all did some wild stuff.
Bro.
But no, back to the topic. Like what
I I
how do
agree
you
with
think
K1. I feel like it's a lack of awareness. And I know you're saying like people are aware, but it's some people that are actually not aware of like who's watching them and how much it's effective. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you could be walking around, you could walk in a restaurant, you could be sagging your pants and somebody look at you crazy and you don't even know. You just so used to doing that and that's
Mm.
what you've seen. You think it's normal, but it's not. It's normal to wear a belt. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's not normal to have your underwear out. Like nobody want to see that. You
I
know what I
mean, some
mean?
people still wear belts and still say,
But it's not just that.
Exactly. I see
It's
it
like
all the time. I just seen it the
that's
other
true.
day.
Some people sag to
Got a
show they
whole
belt.
belt on. The belt too small for you because it don't go up around your cheeks.
Like,
I mean, when
bro,
you get that designer belt, you want to wear that designer belt
I
on.
be seeing
Man,
people get Louis Vuitton belts, bro, and they sag their pants just to show the belt. Like, why? For
it's
what?
not it's not even Louis Vuitton, it's Louis Vuitton, half of them.
The half of them be fake for real though. But it's like, and also our language, like the language it's the way we carry ourselves in general, bro. Like we don't even be caring. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we just think it's cool, and it's honestly social media that make it cool. If I'm keeping it a band, like a lot of this stuff that we talking about stems from social media, bro. You think if somebody, it be people that grow up in good households for real, like they parents are like stand up people. They go to work every day, come home, pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? They got food on the table. They
Mhm.
dressing right. They dress in collared shirt down, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Slacks on, shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like dress shoes and stuff like that. They going to church every Sunday. But they kid will be out here doing stuff that they see on social media. They don't want to follow their parents because they too busy following what everybody else doing. You know what I mean?
Now,
It's
do you think that come from the kid just seeing what they see on social media, or that parent is just too busy and not giving them the proper amount of
it
time?
it can be
And
both. Because a lot of people like okay, say when we hit that teenage era, right? And we at school every day, we hang with our friends and stuff. That's when people like kind of turn away from their parents. You know what I'm saying? That's when people like be like, "Oh man, I don't want to listen to my parents no more." You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to them all
but
my
why?
life. It's just influence. Like it's
Mm,
influence. People get around the wrong influence, and
Influence
they get away
outweighs
from.
value
okay.
in a sense.
Why
Okay.
you think we
That's
got?
a good point.
Okay, why you think when we and this is I feel like this is a good point. When you go to church, right? They give you the option to rededicate.
Uh-huh.
Why do you think we have that? Because a lot of people turn away from what they've been learning their whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
A lot of people turn away from the church. A lot of people turn away from their parents. They turn away from the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they just turn away from what they've been learning the whole time because of influence.
Mm. Okay.
You
Preach,
know,
preacher.
like that's what I feel like it is personally. I don't feel like the parents are necessarily doing anything wrong. You know, now
Just
yes, you have
finding
to.
yourself.
Yeah, you got to find yourself, and you have to. I feel like you have to drift away from a while, drift away a while to find yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but you gotta catch that though. A lot of people don't catch it, and they just keep falling in the sin or falling into what they doing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So that's my take, to be honest.
What do you guys think about economic disparities in the black community? The inequalities that
Uh,
persist in our community.
Elaborate on that economic
You
part.
mean inequalities with each other, like in the black community, or inequalities to other races,
In
like
the community. Well,
in the
income.
community?
Yeah.
Mm.
I gotta elaborate.
I gotta think on that.
Hmm?
I ain't gonna lie, you got me right there.
You stumped me.
Okay, well, what about in the other communities? Like, what do you think about that? Do you think that have a lot to do with why younger blacks act the way they act because they don't have what the other kid have in a sense?
I seen a video the other day, and a guy was saying that he was already we're already at a disadvantage in the world, and we can't change that.
Not true, but okay.
Exactly, it's not true. A lot of people were saying like, "Oh, we he said something about education,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that we don't have the same um opportunities in education that whites do when we have the same opportunity." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we go to school just like they go to school. The only difference is they choose to focus and they do their work and they go to college and they graduate. And a lot of times we don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't believe that in a sense because and the reason why I say that is because where I went to school at, like
Hmm.
you had whites that was in attendance
Right.
and you had some that was great. Like they came there and they did their work,
Exactly.
you know. I feel like when you're at that age, you may be at a disadvantage as far as for what you wear
Yeah.
because no, your parent can't afford to buy, $200 shoes because they got to pay the bills.
Right.
But when it comes to getting out of that,
But that doesn't mean anything though.
you have to have that
Who?
mindset that, hey, I'm here now, but where am I going to go later? You know?
Let's be real. And I'm gonna put like a stamp on this to be honest, because okay, we talking about at what age are you able to get a job?
16.
15, 16. Why?
Okay, and that's when you're in high school, right?
Yeah.
Nobody really cares about what you're wearing to school or what you have, like you know what I mean, like that. If you want that stuff, go get a job and go get it. If your parents can't afford it, obviously, that's a responsibility. And in the real world, you're gonna have to do that. So I don't want to hear the excuse about oh we're at a disadvantage because their parents can do this for them and my parents can't do this for me. At the end of the day, you're in school. You're there to do your work and you're there to graduate and get a degree so you can go to college and you can further your career and whatever you want to do at the end of the day. Nobody cares about, oh, this person's wearing this person's wearing that. You can go work, get what you want, do your schoolwork, and you'll be fine.
But that stuff have to be taught. I think that's where that come into play at, like, and we gonna jump back on
Hmm.
the home part. Like,
But y'all tell us
you
that
get
though, like when we're
hold
in
on,
high
wait,
school.
let me finish.
My bad. Go ahead.
You you get your love at home
Hmm.
because and that seriously need to be taught because you go on the job, dude, and I feel like it should start when you're younger,
Hmm.
you know. We have to start teaching our kids that when you go out here, dude, you're not gonna get no love. When you go on somebody's job, you're there to perform and keep that place running.
Right.
I don't really care how you feel. I may ask you,
Hmm.
but in actuality, I don't I don't care.
Right.
Owners do not care. Half the time you don't even see them. It's rare you find an owner that care, you know? So it's the same thing at school. Those teachers are there to teach you, in a sense. You're there to get an education.
Right.
So go there and do as such. Go get what's free.
Exactly.
Because if you don't get it now, then don't come crying once you get in 12th grade and you see everybody else getting a scholarship because they done their work and this and that and the other. You don't play no sports. You haven't done your work. So no, now you got to pay for school.
Yep.
You know.
Literally.
So it's not about the disadvantage in a sense.
Hmm.
You know, you're not at a disadvantage when you start out. It's a race. When you start out with that race, and y'all both in what is it? Is it kindergarten?
Yep.
Y'all start y'all start in the same classroom,
No,
Exactly.
okay.
and it's free.
The only difference may be the curriculum, depending on the school you go to. But that doesn't matter in a sense.
That don't matter.
Your grades
If
prove
the
a point.
grade's there,
Your test
you're
scores prove
gonna
a
get
point.
something.
Exactly.
If it's not there, you're gonna get nothing.
Yep. And you can apply for scholarships just like they can.
Yeah.
And you can get in these STEM programs just like they can. Like it's
Now,
the same thing.
now you may be at a disadvantage with your feelings
Yeah.
because of what you got. I mean, let's be real. Like that's how I feel about it.
Hmm.
You know, I feel like some parents, not all parents, some parents make all these excuses for their kids in a sense for the lack that they giving. They're not giving them the love at home that they need. They're not making them feel warm and fuzzy. So when they go out, they timid. You know,
Mm,
so that's why I feel the disadvantage coming in. I don't feel like you come in with the school and stuff.
right.
If that person want to pay for their kid to go to school, if they have that, then hey, by all means, go. Somebody got to keep that school open.
Exactly.
But you're here. This is the school you go to. You got all these kids right here. Look at all these kids that came out of this school that done made something out of themselves.
Hmm.
You can do the same because you're here and it's free.
Do you feel like a lot of parents don't tell their kids that like from the jump? Like,
No, they don't. They
like
baby them.
yeah. You feel like they wait too long
They
to tell
baby
them?
them. They want to go to the school and argue with the teacher, talking about, oh, you talking to my kid like this. Who cares? Like, you go on the job, you're going to get cussed out. What's going to happen then? You going to go fight the boss?
Nope.
No.
I just
So
feel like
why am I fussing with the teacher?
Right.
You know? Now, if the teacher, not, if that teacher just out of line, then that's a difference. But a lot of the time, that's not the thing.
A lot of times, like I see parents don't even know like what's going on at the schools at all. Like
Nope.
they just send their kids to school and just don't know what they learn.
Don't care. Y'all got him for 8 hours.
Don't care. Like it's daycare or something. You know what I mean? But it's like in all like, bro, you have to check on what's going on at the school. You got to know what these kids learning. You got to know what classes they in. What you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even know what classes they kids be taking, bro. Like they just send them to school
That's just crazy.
and just hope they make A's. Like what the
I think we just not stressing education enough in our community.
not
We not. And I'm not gonna even jump on that because, everybody's not cut out to go to college. Everybody's not gonna do it, but I feel like somebody gotta do something.
right.
You're not cut out to go to college. Dude, there's trade schools. There's so many different things you can do to level up in a sense, you know. But whatever you do, be great at it. You're not gonna be great at it if you're being babyfied and all this other stuff, man. Like I feel
Right.
like a lot of parents, especially in our community, we babyfy for too long. There's nothing wrong with doing that when that kid cute and this and that and other and all that, but
Hmm.
you gotta start teaching them to be strong and independent. You know what I
Right.
mean? We don't do that enough. Like we want to hold in hand. And I mean, I can say it because I did it
Hmm.
for a long time. It's hard to get the kid out of that when you do that, you know.
Hmm.
But at some point, if you really want them to be successful, You got to do that. You got to give them the real. You know, you
But
have to.
it's also a difference when you holding that kid hand and teaching them at the same time. Teaching them right from wrong, teaching them different avenues you can do and letting them know like, hey, this is not the only way.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you have to do good at this, or even though it's recommended that you do good at this, it's not the end of the world if you don't do this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people graduate and they think, oh, life over. You know what I'm saying? Like now I just gotta go to work. Like no, bro, you're probably good at something and you don't even know it because you
Mm-hmm.
haven't even took the time to figure out. You haven't looked at different things that you might want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people just, and I'm not saying nothing's wrong with with the military or nothing like that, bro. But that's a lot of people's like last resort. Like people be like, "Oh, bet I'm done with school. I'm just gonna do this."
I don't
And
think it's a last resort.
they don't even
I
like it
think
though.
like I think that's a choice you make when you don't know,
Hmm.
and because that's actually a brilliant idea. It's smart
It's smart,
in a sense if you can handle it.
yeah, but a lot of people can't
A
handle
lot of people can't handle it because of the stress and the trauma they had when they was younger.
it. And a lot
And
of
they're not
people,
able to deal with it on a mental level because
right?
you're away from everybody.
Exactly.
Some people can handle it, some people can't. But it's a good break because you think about it.
Hmm.
The average kid, if you come out of school and you're not going to college, it takes you about 4 to 5 years to figure out what you want to do.
Right.
You out here working ranky dank jobs, trying to make the ends meet,
Hmm.
you know, mooching off your parents and just trying to
Hmm.
figure it out. And there's nothing wrong with it. But if you're not working towards something great, then what are you doing? Because
Hmm.
now those 4 years gonna turn to 8 years,
Right.
you know?
That's facts.
When you think about it, you get on your first job, it's an entry level job. To get to that midpoint, it's 5 years. You're entry level for 5 years.
Hmm.
So now you're at 9 years just getting into something, and then you might get there to that mid level and you don't like it. Now you gotta make
Right.
a whole change. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So
What's what's your advice to the people that come out of high school? They may go to college or but they only go to college for a while, but they don't want a regular 9 to 5. They want to do stuff like, okay, I want to do a podcast, or okay, I want to start a YouTube channel, or I want to do this stuff. You know, the stuff that people say that's unreal.
man, I tell anybody, find that passion, man. Like you come find out what you want to do, what's gonna make you happy.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you have to have the sense to understand that, okay, if I'm not going to school, I have to work. I have to take care of myself some kind of way,
Right.
you know? So I'm going to work, but I'm going to work harder when I get off at this, researching it, networking,
Hmm.
meeting with the right people
Right.
to make this work. And I'm going to
Exactly.
put the time in that I need to put in to make it work.
Hmm.
It's going to be some sleepless nights. It's going to be some sleepless weeks,
For real.
because if you don't put that work in, then it's not going to work. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like going to school. If you're in school and you're trying to graduate, if you're not doing the work, then guess what? You're not going to graduate. At
Hmm.
some point, it's going to come back to bite you in your butt. Whether it's when you got to do your capstone or whatever it is that you have to do, you're not going to be good enough to do it. You're not going to make it up because you didn't put in the work. You faked the funk.
For sure.
But this was a good one, man. Um,
Yeah.
Catch us back next week for the next one. Rewriting your family history. That's what it's gonna be on. Um,
Mhm.
One of you guys shoot the tags out, man. Tell them where to go catch us at.
You want
And
to do it this time? Definitely. Go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Boastful on everything. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe and share. Thank you.